Hello everyone, welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 3, Exercise 4. We're designing a program that determines the number of digits the number of digits a number has. So first, we're going to ask the user to input an integer, and the program should output the number of digits the number itself has. For example, 1000 has 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, and number 1 has 1 digit. Now, it seems very basic, but we're going to write a program that actually does this. Now, please recall that we're asking the user to input an integer, as in, if we ask them to input an integer, we need to make sure our program does so. So let's go with our input and variable initialization, and we need a user input, as in we want it to be an integer, and we're going to just call it user input. Input, enter an integer value. And we're going to make sure that it is an integer by saying, hey, let's trap this all inside an integer function. As in, whatever we get from here, as in whatever the user inputs, we're going to convert the entirety by saying, hey, wrap it around an integer function. As in, we're taking the result of this as an input to our int function. Great. Now, the problem is we have an integer value, but it's really difficult. You have to do complex math to figure out how many digits it has. But there is a simpler way where we can say, well, let's just create a string version of this integer where we can say, hey, let's convert our user input back into a string. Now, when I say back, it's because input will always assume that the value we have inputted is a string value in Python, and we're going to be working with that mindset as we go along. So we've created a new variable called str_num, which is string version of our num. And we get it by getting our user input variable as the input for our string function. Well, now we have a variable that is a collection, either a string or a list. And with those collections, we can now calculate the length. So the num of digits is equal to the length of our string version of our number. As in, it will now count how many characters this string had by using the length function. And now we have done our processing. And maybe I can call this part processing. Let's go to our output. We need to use print, and we're going to say, well, user input has num of digits, many digits. And that would be the end of our code. Now, it is true, it is definitely true that if we have just ignored this integer function here, we could have gone straight to this, because input will assume or force our user input to be a data type of a string. However, I did want to follow the exact direction of our exercise itself. Thank you for watching, and stay classy.